It's the latest episode of The Ugly Truth, and today we are finding some things to laugh about in regards to the coronavirus, believe it or not. It's a hodgepodge episode. Lots of unusual discussions. Cake, sex, there's a spider. I don't know what happened, but I think you'll find it funny. This and our ugly and awkward moments of the week. Thank you so much. Shop lipandclip.com. Enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
You are getting it done, Buster.
Paula?
I remember one time I ate so many bouillon cubes I threw up.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the Ugly Truth.
Welcome to the Ugly Truth. It is episode 446. Ugh. I can't believe we're in March already. And by the way, this weekend is the time change, and I am so depressed about it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about
I know we
that.
talked about it last week a little bit, but I legit throw like temper tantrums. I get so mad when I wake up and go, what do you mean it's 8:45 or 7:45 or whatever time? And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. But it makes the day longer. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we get an extra hour of daylight, which I do love, but the adjustment period is what I hate. Every 6 months or however often time a year we do this time change. I get the arrogant Arizonians who say, well, we don't ever have to deal with time change, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, you're special. Congratulations. But the rest of us have to deal with it, and it sucks.
I actually like it. I mean, I like adjusting to the seasons, but I know a lot of people don't like the time change. They're just like, why can't we just stay at the same time all year long? But I'm just like, well,
that's what I would prefer.
I prefer to change it. The only thing I don't like is the fall one, just because in the wintertime when it does get, like when it's getting dark at like 4:30, I'm like, that's a little too dark, too early.
Honestly, what I would prefer is if we did the time change this weekend for spring forward and just left it forever.
But then
I'd be cool with.
Wouldn't it like keep getting like forward?
Well, we're never going to change it again. If we never changed it again and we just finished this one.
Okay.
I always get a little nervous when we talk about anything mathematical.
Well, when you said if we just keep going forward, and I'm like, what if we just kept going forward an hour?
No.
Like we'd be like at midnight.
We want to be in the future. No.
We're back to the future.
Yeah, no, what I mean is we just
do it this once. Okay.
Do this one time, just like if we're a parent. Okay, just this one time you can have dessert for dinner, but never again for the rest of your life.
How many times have I said that?
Oh my God.
Like when Olivia comes up to me and she shows me her plate, she's like, Mom, can I have dessert tonight? And I'm like, yes, you may. Go ahead. It's just the cutest little ask. I just can't say no to her. And she's such a string bean. I'm just like, what are you going to do? Gain weight? Go ahead.
I don't know what started it, but when Daryl started traveling a lot and the kids were still at home, especially the girls were still at home, we'd be like, is Dad coming home tonight? They know full well he's not coming home, and I'm like, no, Dad's not coming home. I go, but what we can do?
We can go for ice cream.
We can have far more. I said, why don't we have dessert for dinner? And they're like, what? What is this? And I'm like, let's go to the store. So we went to the store and I let them pick out whatever they wanted to eat. We came home with candy of all varieties, a pie, cake, ice cream, cookies, cupcakes, chips, all the shit that you would never ever allow a child to eat for dessert for dinner. And we had this giant buffet of sugar.
Mommy's great because we're eating chocolate cake.
Exactly. And so what was hilarious though is because, I don't withhold sugar, but we don't have usually a ton of it in the house. So when we'd get all this, they'd eat like four bites of something, and that was it. And then we had all this crap, and of course Daryl comes home and he's like, what is this?
Yeah, like what holiday is this? Is it Easter?
Oh my God. Yes. And so of course he would mow it down,
right?
Because the rest of us were like, we had a couple, we're done now. It was more of a symbol of renegades and reckless abandon, but we really didn't eat much.
Growing up in our house, if there was a candy bar to be had, oh my God, we were on that like a pack of wolves, like it was like a hyena. And so, God, I can't remember how many times we ate sugarless chocolate thinking it was a candy bar. We thought we had scored something.
I remember vividly, regularly getting a steak knife and a ruler and meticulously, like a surgeon, cutting squares equally between me and Stephanie, because God forbid anyone got a sliver more of candy than the other. It would be war. And she wouldn't even trust me. She's like, I know you're cutting it a little more for yourself. I know you are, you pig. And I'm like, I'm not, I promise. I'm like, fine, then you do it. Oh, no, you do it. Oh my God. It was like freaking rations just to survive. It was ridiculous.
You'd think we were like stowaways on a freaking like yellow raft in the ocean. Spitting insane. Up sea crackers or something. But in our house, and we never used to do dessert. And so, I mean, that was like never a thing. Usually that was on, when someone did something real bad, like, mom or dad, and they felt guilty about something.
Yeah, it's true. That happened quite a bit.
All the time.
Anyway, moving on to something a little bit more positive. So the coronavirus is in full swing.
Why is that positive?
Well, because there's silver linings to everything, even the coronavirus. Now, for those of you who are terrified, I don't know why you're stockpiling toilet paper, but please stop it, because that doesn't do anything. Please stop. Stop it. That doesn't do anything. I don't know what you're preparing for.
People aren't listening.
They're not listening. They're in full panic mode. Everyone's in survival mode, which is ridiculous. So here's a couple of things. Now, some are funny, some are ridiculous. This is the first one I read. I read a headline today. I didn't need to read anymore because I already know what's going on. Some moron in New York was sitting on the subway, saw someone of Asian descent, walked up to them and started squirting them with Febreze. Why would you do that to somebody? First of all, and realistically, Febreze doesn't do anything.
It's an air freshener for furniture.
Febreze is for boys who don't have their mom at home anymore to wash their clothes, or they just spray it down so that when they go out on their date hoping to get laid, their shirt doesn't smell like BO. Okay? That's what Febreze was invented for. That and Axe are why those things exist, and that's what the number one demo is for those products. Second, people of Asian descent do not have coronavirus. It's just ridiculous. It's astonishing to me what the education has not taught
Jamie,
these people.
You saw the article I posted last week where like 40% of people have admitted that they've stopped drinking Corona beer.
I told you about that last week.
Well, I read an article and I'm just like,
yes,
really?
Great. Congratulations. I told you on this podcast.
I messaged a friend and I'm just like, you really need to switch to Corona Light. I'm like, it is. I'm like, at least switch to Corona Light. It's the least you can do.
Corona's fine, as I said. No one's losing any money. Okay, here's the second thing I saw. I don't know what's going on in China. There have been many, many sightings of people taking, the office water cooler jugs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're cutting off the bottom and they're putting them on their heads.
What?
In addition to masks. So they're creating plastic helmets so they can walk around, and they're putting a filter on the top of the jug so they can breathe.
Tinfoil works way better.
Tinfoil? So they're doing that. I've seen many photos of men with one piece of a bra as a mask over their face.
I've seen that as well. I think they just want to sniff an old boob, but...
Probably, I assume. Okay, so the next thing that I thought was interesting that coronavirus is affecting is the Vegas strip clubs. Larry Flint's Hustler Club has got you, so don't you worry about that. They have hired a professional custodial company to be on site at all times. They have special janitors. They do a sanitization of the club every single day, so every 24 hours. Plus, they have standby porters to spot clean all the time, every day. So don't you worry, guys. Your strip club is clean in Las Vegas.
What about the women, for God's sakes? Do they spot clean vaginas?
Well, I don't think you're allowed to touch them, for starters. The only thing would be the money. Like, the money's not clean. Money is filthy. Everyone knows how dirty money is.
Yeah.
And most importantly, because this is, of course, the way humanity is. There are already coronavirus porn. Just so you know.
What?
There's coronavirus porn on Pornhub. Do not look it up right now. You'll lock us up.
All right.
There's over 100 videos. When you search for coronavirus on Pornhub, over 100 videos show up.
Was it women coughing as they're getting laid?
Some of the video titles are Body Cam Footage. A CDC agent investigates a deserted Wuhan. That video ends with the hazmat-suited explorer being mounted by a woman in a hospital gown.
Really?
Yes. And then this one, TSA agent detains woman suspected of coronavirus.
You know what? Those are probably like already existing videos. They just changed the title.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're going to have to go.
I mean, that's probably from like swine flu, avian flu, and
any of them. They just changed the
now
title.
they just like, oh, whip out the virus ones. You know, we got another.
Okay, first of all, here's what's hilarious. The fact that people who are in charge of this stuff, who have these videos, know that people are going to come looking for it. That's what's hilarious. There's always a sexual angle when it comes to any kind of insanity going on in the world. You will find it on Pornhub.
There's a curiosity for anything, Jamie.
Anything.
They're probably thinking like, well, if I was married and my wife had the coronavirus and, you know, it was going to be like a month-long thing, God, would we have sex? I don't know.
God, isn't that the first thing? I read it. I was on Reddit the other day, and I know everybody knows if you've had a child and you've gotten past the 6-week mark and you're with somebody, you know what the answer is. But somebody said, how long did you wait before you had sex after having your baby? And I'm like, well, everyone knows it's 6 weeks.
No, that's not true.
What?
A lot of people don't wait the 6. Well, I waited 7, but that's because my doctor appointment was until 7 weeks. But
I waited 6 weeks. I'm like, you're not going. I was a sloppy mess. I was a hewing mess. I couldn't even fathom someone going inside after what I had just been through.
Some people waited 5 days.
That's insane. That's ridiculous. Who? Name the woman. I want to know the woman who did this.
Okay.
That's crazy.
It may have been a drunken claim. I'm not sure, but I just sent you the name.
Oh, no.
That's
what crazy.
That's what ridiculous. I heard, but
well, she doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to.
Well, look at Victor and his siblings. They're all 10 months apart. So obviously they didn't wait 6 weeks.
God, you're right. Oh, that's horrifying. I was not. I mean, and God, who feels that attractive after?
I don't think it's about feeling attractive. I think it's about, you know, being married to a monster. And
oh yeah, Daryl was definitely suffering from withdrawal, no doubt. He's like, is it 6 weeks? Who isn't though? What man isn't saying? When is it 6 weeks? Or if you're gonna
get that, but it's just like if they just he didn't witness what happened because, well, we all know what happened there. But he was sipping orange juice on the floor,
taking a knee
with all the nurses, and you're just like, can I have a baby here? Jesus.
God. Well, it was funny because even my doctor was just like, we don't have time for him. Get him out of here. And I was just like, oh, you failed.
Well, not just that, but literally every nurse that was assisting with the birth was over there. And I'm just like,
I know.
Okay, so it was just you and the doctor. I'm like, it's like go time right now.
It was like a freaking movie.
I'm just like, I think she's going to need at least one of you. So
can someone please. And then the one nurse that came back pushed down so hard on my stomach that she ruptured my navel. She almost killed me. Good Lord. People, I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. Oh, so speaking of pregnancy, Katy Perry announced that she is pregnant, and we give 0 fucks. But
she's like really big pregnant, though, isn't she?
She's due in the summer, so she could be 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, because I thought the thing I saw, she had a kind of a big belly, but
it looked a little loose to me. It didn't look like a firm taut bump, which means that she probably is just an early shower. You know what I'm saying?
Probably like I was. I mean, when I was like 5 months, everyone thought I was due next month.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, but like most people in Hollywood, she's probably like, you know, a size 2. She's really tiny. And so, but I was like, what, you know, she's known for her breasts, you know, she has really nice boobs. And I'm like, the first thing I saw when I saw because I watched the whole video because I had to watch it.
I didn't watch anything.
No, she announced it via music video. She has a new video called Never Worn White. And obviously it's an homage to Orlando Bloom. And it is clear she's pregnant. You know, look, I'm not big on dissing women who are pregnant because they're vulnerable, and that's just not the time to call them assholes. Still not my favorite girl, but I hope she has a safe pregnancy, and, you know, maybe she'll puke a lot, and that would be nice, though. I don't know. We'll see. She's so fucking annoying. She and Anne Hathaway should go baby shopping.
Yeah, really. Oh, is Anne Hathaway pregnant again?
I don't care. I don't know, and I don't care. Okay, speaking of babies, let's talk about our puppies a little bit. Last week, you were concerned about your dog, Bo. He's Mr. Senior. How old is Bo, anyway?
He will be 12 on Christmas.
Aw, so a little 11-year-old Bo. He's an Australian Shepherd, right?
Yes, he is.
So you took him to the doctor because you were concerned about him a little bit.
We noticed that he was just extraordinarily thirsty and he had to urinate all the time. And one night he actually didn't make it through the night. And so he had urinated all over the floor, but we couldn't tell because it was so clear. And so,
Because he'd been drinking so much water.
well, he'd been drinking. And so we were concerned. I'm just like, I wonder if he's diabetic. And so we took him to the vet. They did a senior check and they kept him for the day, ran all these tests, did a bunch of stuff. And then 2 days later, they called and they said, based on his glucose levels and everything and his sugar levels, it appears that he is diabetic.
He's got the beatus.
He does have the sugar. And so basically what we're going to do is he says that he will require daily insulin. Mm-hmm. And so we'll have to give him a once a day injection.
Oh, God.
I have to go in next week for a lesson on how to, do this injection.
Sure.
But since it's under the skin, I'm hoping it's just like under the neck or something like that.
Like, yeah, that's where they usually give them their shots, is in the back of the neck. They barely even feel it.
Well, because that's like, the mommy scruff
They have the
area.
scruff. Yes.
So I'll do that once a day. So I'll probably set an alarm, or I actually have an alarm for Olivia's medication. So I can probably just do everybody's medication all at the same time. Like,
Don't you
everybody, it's medication time.
Don't you wish kids had a scruff?
Yeah, it's called their hair. No, just kidding.
No, they have shirts. That's how you do it. But
The back of their arm.
When they're little toddlers and they're always running away from you, they go through this phase where they just want to run away. They don't want to listen to anything you say. They're like puppies. I remember, luckily, when my children were little, overalls were really popular. So everybody had a pair of overalls, and so they'd run away, and I'd grab them by the back of the overalls, the little crisscross, and I would just grab them like, "You're going nowhere." They hated it. They were so angry because they couldn't get away from me.
Sometimes they're fast. You just grab what you can.
They are fast. They're like little piglets. They just run like insane people, and they're fast, and they're full of pure muscle.
I don't know though. Based on the pictures I look at of all of my kids, they never wore clothing. So
Well, that is
I don't know
true.
what I was grabbing at. I just had to catch them. They were feral.
You probably just cornered them like you would a feral animal.
Well, a lot of the pictures ended up with them in the closet. So
Well, there you go. You trapped them in the closet, and then you fed them a snack, and you snatched them for bathing and
you see the camera with them in the closet, and in the corner you see the corner of a diaper. So
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, kids do hide in the closet when they're uninterested in doing the right thing. Like, I can't tell you how many times I found Natalie in the closet with a dirty diaper. I'm just like, oh my God, this child does not want to potty train. She was so willful.
oh God, that was Olivia.
And maybe girls in general are just difficult to potty train. Guys, even when they're little, tiny guys, they're so fascinated with the fact that they can like hold their penis like a little wand or a lightsaber. They can just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's a toy. Like, they're like, hey, look at this. I can do all kinds of stuff with it. It's like, I just wonder if that's why potty training is so easy for them.
Yeah, I mean, there was literally a year difference between Ryan and Olivia in potty training. So,
Tyler was potty trained in like 3 days. It was miraculous.
well, I mean, pooping is different, but
Well, yeah, they're afraid. Well, Kenzie, she was so afraid to flush the toilet. Like, she hated to flush the toilet. Do you remember being a kid and flushing the toilet and running out of the bathroom?
I sprinted. I
did
swear
too.
to God, I still get scared when I flush the toilet in an airplane.
I'm afraid my guts will get sucked out. I don't like it.
Yeah, really. I close the lid and I flush it, but I'm like opening the door as I'm leaving. Like, I'll wash my hands and then I'll like close the lid. I'll flush it with my
Your
shoe or whatever I have to do. And I'm like opening the door as I'm exiting because I'm
You're
just
like 1 foot out the door.
I'm
already.
like, I need extra air in here,
Yes.
So
If that toilet's going through the bottom, I will not be going with it. Switching lanes just a bit. What is it with men and wanting to have sex in water?
JB, men want to have sex anywhere. They don't care where it
I can't tell you
is.
how many times we have been anywhere with a pool or a body of water where Daryl's just like, we should have sex in this. And I'm like, why? Why? It is so not fun to me. Like, there's nothing pleasant.
You think the Mile High Club was a girl's idea?
Really?
It includes a bathroom and like the space of I don't even know, like a pantry.
Literally the place that we run out of before we flush the toilet. And you want to have sex in here?
There's no room for two people. And what are you going to say? Oh, my wife is sick. And then the flight attendant's like, yeah, sure.
Sure she is. We don't allow that here, mister. Sir, excuse me, sir. We have air marshals on this plane.
What's the air marshal going to do? Shoot you?
He's going to be like, please sit down and leave your poor wife alone.
Like she doesn't want to do what you think you're going to try and do right now. You're going to be out in about 30 seconds because she's going to be like, no.
I consider myself somewhat willing to try just about anything, even anal. But I have had sex on beaches. I've had sex on a boat. I've had sex in tents, which is the worst, and I will never do that again. I've definitely had sex in water, and it sucks. I remember the one time that I actually said absolutely not was when it was ocean water.
Ew, you're going to get like an amoeba up your vagina.
There are sharks. There are parasites. You know, someone wanted to try it in a lake, and I said no.
That's how you get those monsters inside of me.
That's exactly how you get those weird parasites to come drilling out of your breasts or something.
No, you're going to start
happening.
You're going to start pooping out of your vagina or something.
You're going to start bleeding out of your butt, and there's going to be worms in there because of your ridiculous perversions.
Throwing up turds or something.
Yeah, I can't. Water is not safe, and I don't recommend it. I don't care. I have never heard a woman say, "Oh, it was so sexy," and I'm like, it is not sexy. You did it, and you know it. No.
Well, plus it just kind of washes away everything. So it's just, and it's
no lube.
It's splashy. And especially if it's like in a bathtub, then you get like a tidal wave and,
God.
You know,
water's not a lubricant either.
It's just it's kind of the thing where you look back and you're like, wow, that was a poor choice. Like that was a bad idea.
Shower sex is fine.
For who, though? I mean,
exactly.
It's just like I'm usually sitting there. I'm watching his, feet and legs, bounce up and down while I'm grabbing my ankles.
Straining.
And I'm just like, yay.
Oh, yes. That you can definitely tell there's intensity when you're having a shower sex.
And then I'm looking down and I'm like, it's getting kind of pink in the corner. I probably should just wash the bathtub this weekend.
You're like, where's that bleach spray? I need to sanitize.
I'm like, are we at a comet?
That was my point with shower sex. It's very sexy, but it takes forever. It's one of those things where it's like, sometimes you can get things going and move things along so that you still have time to, shave your legs or condition your hair. But sometimes, especially shower, they just don't want the party to end. So it's like, it's endless. It's endless. It feels endless sometimes.
And at some point I'm just like, hurry up, I'm cold.
You know what I've done? I've definitely gone, I'm trying to be really sexy. I'm like, the water's getting kind of, cold lines. If there's not a lot of warmth going on, let's move this along, shall we?
You're far more polite than I am. I'm just usually like, well, actually, I'll try something else. I'll try grabbing their ankles. And then I'm just like, well, maybe this will move things along, being extra, flexible. Because, guys like flexible. And so I'm just like, maybe he'll think me grabbing his ankles is super hot. And then after a while, I'm just like, it's cold, hurry up.
If it gets cold and nothing has happened yet, I've had to retire and say, we need to finish this up in bed because I'm freezing and my hair's drying and we need to let the water warm up so I can actually complete my shower.
I'm like, it's going to get super tangled if, my conditioner's probably all rinsed out. And
exactly. It's just, I'm not saying I'm opposed to shower sex. It's just, be prepared for the long haul. This is no quick trip around the sun. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, I look forward to hearing how the injection lesson goes because that's like the least likely thing I'd ever want to do. So.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
But it's to save him some discomfort and extend his, period of time on this planet.
Well, and that's, the good thing is that, ultimately it will hopefully make him feel better because, he won't be as sleepy and not as thirsty. And so it might give him some pep in his step.
Well,
it's difficult when things start happening to your older pets.
It's true. In fact, I've noticed that my sweet Sonny has taken a significant downturn. It's not his health. He's just very quiet and he sleeps a lot. And he doesn't eat as much as he used to. He still eats and drinks, but he doesn't really play anymore and he would rather sleep in the sun.
Aww.
I know, and it breaks my heart, but I mean, he is gonna be 13.
Maybe like he just moved to Florida or Arizona, you know, and he's enjoying his retirement.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So, well, good on the update. Can't wait to hear about your lesson. So really quick, before we go to our ugly and awkward moments of the week, I wanted to tell you something. This happened a couple of weeks ago. We had some wine or something, but I said to Daryl, we were sitting on the couch and I said, I have something that I want to tell you, but don't make fun of me. And he gets very serious. He's like, all right, what is it? You can tell me anything.
He's probably thinking it might be a sexual fantasy.
Of course. Of course. And trust me, after I told him this definitely turned sexual for him because he's a pervert. But anyway.
Well, he's a guy. Yeah.
I know. All men. So I said, sometimes sometimes I truly believe that I could eat a whole cake by myself. 2 layers, absolutely, all by myself. Wow. And I know I could do it. I know I could do it. If I really wanted to, I could do it and I wouldn't regret a thing. I mean, I totally would regret it, but I know I could do it because I love it so much. And he just looked at me, just stared at me. He's like, I could eat a whole pint of ice cream by myself if I wanted to. And I'm like, what are we doing? What has happened? What it is because I don't allow myself to eat a whole lot of stuff, you know, because I'm constantly watching my weight or, you know, my diet or exercise or, you know, whatever. And because I'm OCD, you know, I'm always like, okay, I can have wine, then I can't have this. Like I'm constantly doing that. And so I think in this time, I was really thinking about wanting cake. And I obsess over it sometimes.
You must have PMS because I'm totally PMSing right now.
Oh, I'm totally on the rag right now. It's freaking sucks. But this happened. Yeah, so you're right. It was the beginning of PMS. And I said, I can visualize it. And I know that if I had a fork and a whole cake, I could get through it. I know I could. And he starts laughing. He's like, that's what you wanted to tell me? I'm like, yes. I was drunk. I was, you know, tipsy drunk. But I was so like... serious. I was serious.
Like what kind of cake though? Like what kind of cake?
Well, vanilla or carrot cake. Carrot cake, okay. I would get diarrhea so bad.
Why?
Well, because there's a lot of fiber in it.
Oh, okay.
There's this really healthy carrot cake that I buy, and I only buy it like by the slice. Or I'll buy like a single layer because I know that I will eat it all if I do. You know, it'll take me a few days, but I can eat a whole cake of carrot cake. It's just like for whatever reason. And so like I stopped making it. I couldn't even make it because I would eat it. And so when I eat even a piece of it, I am fully cleared out within a day.
Wow.
It's very, very
Maybe
strong.
that's what I need to do because I feel like I need a good flushing. Oh, I can't eat carrot cake. What am I talking about?
Why?
Because I'm gluten intolerant, Jamie.
Oh, there's gluten-free carrot cakes.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I mean, you know, it's not even fiber. It's just rice.
It is.
It's stupid.
Yeah. It's weird, though.
That's why I'm constipated all the time because I don't eat actual roughage.
You know, Daryl's going to be doing his colonoscopy soon, and I'm going to do it with him. I'm not doing the colonoscopy part, but I'm going to do the cleanse with him.
Well, you have to get it prescribed to you.
Oh, you can buy this stuff on Amazon. It's the same stuff. They've really changed the way you get cleaned out for a colonoscopy. It used to be this nightmare jug of crap, but now it's like these 2 bottles, and then you can drink Gatorade that it doesn't have any red dye in it. You can drink Gatorade. You can have, you know, gelatin as long as it's not the red or purple kind, which means why would you even eat it? You can have clear broth like chicken broth.
Really?
So, yeah.
I had to get this giant, it was like a powder, and I remember it was called Movie Prep. And I'm like, why would they name this Movie Prep? Like, who prepares to go to the movies like this unless you're going to take it up the ass when you get there?
Yeah, exactly. It's a new, gentle way of I think they're just realizing it doesn't have to be so extreme. And so there's bottles.
Like if you pass gas, it's like a whistle. It's like...
So I did read that you can prepare for your cleanse days before by what you eat. So it's not so hard on yourself. Like don't pound a pizza and, you know, a bunch of crap But if you kind of eat a real clean, fibrous diet before the cleanse, it will even be less difficult. And so I'm definitely doing it with them because I'm like, why not? You know, people pay hundreds of dollars to get a cleanse, and I might as well do this. Now, he will probably get a prescribed drink or whatever they're called. But they do have them on Amazon, and I have it bookmarked. So when it's time, I'm getting it and I'm doing it.
Well, I know you can go to like Rite Aid and they have those little bottles. They're like 99 cents. So, I mean...
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think it's like gastric something, so. I
figured why not? And then my only concern was then we'll both be on the toilet all day. And that might be difficult.
You know, I remember Mom saying I wasn't really like that. I mean,
really?
it was gentle enough to where, but again, I don't know how much contents everybody has. So like once I got like the majority of everything out, I was just kind of like, okay, cool. And then, you know, just as everything kind of, you know, the liquid started passing, it was just like peeing out of your butt.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you kind of know.
But I knew when it was going to happen because you have to drink that stuff like every 4 hours or something like that. So it kind of just passes right through you. So I'm just like, okay, I'm going to drink this. I'm going to have to go and then I'll be done, you know?
I guess apparently it's like, it tastes kind of salty like Gatorade or something.
Yeah, it was kind of like an electrolyte, but a little bit more sodium. Mm-hmm, and mine was like the greenish yellow Gatorade looking color. Ugh. But it was a lot. It was a lot. It was like drinking like a pitcher of juice.
Oh God. Yeah, so that'll be fun. But I keep telling him, like, you know, you got to get it done. He's like, I know. And I'm like, well, you better, you know, I said, I'm going to call for you if you don't do it. He's like, you will not. I'm like, oh, I absolutely will call for you.
That's funny.
I know. He's not being a baby about it, but he kind of is because he just doesn't want to do it. I'm like, look, I don't blame you, but you know, you make me endure this. At least once a month, you try to put something up my ass. I think you can handle it. You will be sleeping.
Once a month? Really?
If I could be sleeping every time you wanted to put your dick in my ass, I would be fine with it. But that's not how this goes. You are getting it done, Buster. Buster, what am I, 100?
Jesus, Jamie. Pal.
Listen to me, Pally.
Gosh. Maybe I'll let you borrow some of Bo's insulin and you can put yourself in a coma and then just let him have at it. And then you'll wake up and be like, ow, my asshole.
If I just ate a whole cake, I'd probably sugar crash so hard I wouldn't even know.
Well, I was going to say for your birthday, you should go to, you know, the city of your choice, get the nicest hotel you can find, and then just get a cake. And
I can't do it. I know I would regret it, but you're right.
Why would you regret it? It would be your birthday.
Because I wouldn't be able to eat it all.
Well, I mean, you could have Daryl help you.
He hates cake. Maybe that's why I like it so much, because he hates it and I know he won't eat it.
I could eat a whole cherry pie. I know
a whole cherry pie, like in one sitting.
Oh yeah, that's like nothing.
I know. That's a lot of slick cherries.
Oh,
I do love cherries though. Well, you know, it depends on the crust. You know,
I like cherry anything though, because I like cherry Jello and
cherry Jello. I don't know. Good. I like the black cherry Jello.
Black or not black? What am I saying? Chocolate covered cherries.
Listeners, if you want to know, this is what it sounds like in a woman's brain when she's PMSing. This is exactly what goes on.
Oh, God. I opened the fridge last night and suddenly I noticed we had a jar of pickles up there. And I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, those look amazing.
Do you know what I used to eat? Pickle and cheese sandwiches. They're so good.
Pickle and cheese?
Yes, they're so good. I haven't eaten one in 100 years.
I used to wrap them up in paper towels, but I would have 5 in there. I don't know.
I used to do that.
Mm-hmm. I must have been like salt deficient. I probably could have used like a horse lick.
Maybe you were diabetic.
I don't know what was wrong with me.
I don't know. Yeah, you know what? You did have a penchant for salt. Like you would get those super processed chicken broth packets with the egg. Mm-hmm. And you would boil water and put it all in, and you would eat those like
Mrs. Grass.
Yes, and you would.
I remember
you would eat them all the time.
I remember one time I ate so many bouillon cubes I threw up. And Wendy, our stepmom at the time, she's like, "What did you do?
Why would you eat
bouillon?" I ate 5 beef bouillon.
Beef bouillon. I was gonna say, I'm like, well, which one did you do? Chicken or beef? What did you do? Beef. Beefs are
That's
hearty.
all I could find. And she's, well, they're concentrate. You're supposed to use those with 1 cup of water.
2 cups.
I should have drank 5 or 10 cups of water with the 5 bouillon cubes that I ate.
I think it's a testament to how little food we had access to as children. That's what I'm hearing.
Or supervision. I mean, there's no way Olivia would have been able to get access to bouillon cubes. I'd be like, what are you doing in there?
You know what? That is absolutely fact. That is fact.
She was busy watching soap operas.
God, you know what? We were really highly unsupervised. We really were.
Well,
we got away with a lot of dangerous stuff, man. We used to climb on the roof all the time. Do you know how many times we climbed up on the roof at night? There was a drive-in right where our dad lived, and we would climb up there.
Right. We'd watch the movie.
That's how I saw the Vision Quest for the first time. Was up on the roof. I mean, seriously.
I forgot about that. I was listening to like a YouTube playlist, and I had a bunch of Madonna songs in there. It was like, and it's like, dun, 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 dun. I see you through the smoky.
Oh my God!
And I'm like the alarm. I'm like, that's Vision Quest.
Yep, I love that movie. That is such a good movie.
The girl in there was so fucking ugly.
I know. Well, okay, yes, that part of it is weird. That some old woman would rent a basement room from a man and his son. That's ridiculous.
Well,
However,
I'm just thinking, I'm like, there was a lot of movies where like the girl was just fugly. I'm like, why did they do that?
We didn't know much in the 80s as far as what we thought was beautiful. I mean, we thought Kelly McGillis was hot. Remember?
I don't know that I ever thought that.
That is weird, though, if you think about it. Back in the 80s, it was the older-ish woman with the teenager-ish boy. There was a lot of that going on. Because, like in Top Gun, Tom Cruise was literally visibly younger than her. Clearly younger than her. And then in Vision Quest, it was the same thing.
But I mean, I think in Top Gun, I don't remember her playing a big role in my mind. Like,
well, Tom Cruise was just too good looking. We didn't care.
Well, all of them were.
Oh my God.
I think the only thing that really stood out was the volleyball scene, and
I think
maybe the bar scene when they were singing. But besides that, I didn't really pay attention to many of the other details.
But I mean, even what's the Tom Cruise one? A Risky Business. Rebecca De Mornay was older, and Tom Cruise was a kid.
She was a prostitute though, so that made sense. But she was pretty.
The casting.
Although, you know what? She got much hotter as she got older.
Oh yeah, she's a beautiful woman. I just meant the casting of older woman, older-ish woman, old enough that she's clearly not a teenager, and then these teenagery kids. I mean, Weird Science, perfect example.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if she actually.
Yeah, maybe that was a thing back then to have an older woman.
All these guys, all these directors had these fantasies of when they were kids, when they were teenagers, that some older woman would show them the way. And now they made all these movies.
But the John Hughes movies really got it right. The only one I took issue with was Mare Winningham in St. Elmo's Fire. Was that a John Hughes movie?
Yes, and you're right.
I don't know why they picked her. I know they were going for like the shy, mousy looking woman, but she just, they really could have done something better.
I'm not really sure. That's not my favorite film, to be honest.
Because wasn't Rob Lowe the one that was like into her?
Yes, he was. He was the ultimate bad boy, and she was the ultimate. Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Was it Rob Lowe's character that was into her?
Yes, because he was the worst of the worst, and she was the white of the white as far as her purity.
Not in a million years would that have ever happened.
Ever.
Rob Lowe was so fucking gorgeous.
He was.
He would have never been into her. She looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
He had really bad taste in women in that movie. But
all I'm saying is that, like, just physically, that would have never happened. And so they could have gotten a better virginal character. I don't know who it would have been.
Molly Ringwald would have been perfect.
No, she's just got an Arab slut to her.
You think so? God, I think she has an Arab.
I totally do.
I think she has an Arab prude to her. That is so interesting. Maybe she's both. Maybe that's why she was so good. I never
watched her now. She plays someone's mother, and she's got that air of like sleaze. She's got a sleaze factor.
She lives in France. She's
now
full on French. Yeah,
she's from Sacramento.
No, she's been living in France for years and years.
Well, I'm just saying she was from Sacramento.
Yes, she was. You're right. Her dad is a jazz player.
Yeah,
when
I saw her sing at the Sacramento Jazz Festival.
She was there frequently. Yes, I don't know. she never, I mean, guys my age just thought she was the dreamiest of the dreamy. I never really found her attractive personally, but then again, she's just not my,
I thought she was pretty.
She's cute.
For the life of me, could not figure out why Ali Sheedy was so famous. She just looked like a muskrat to me. Like a dirty black towel. But
right. Well, The Breakfast Club is probably one of my most favorite movies that John Hughes did. I mean, there's so many he did that I loved, but John Hughes really nailed it right. I mean, 16 Candles is really hilarious, but Breakfast Club was like the epitome of high school.
Well, it was more dramatic, too.
It was a drama.
But even after Molly Ringwald cleaned her up, I'm like, okay, good. You put a headband on her and, put her in a blue dress. And then Emilio Estevez is like, oh, my God.
Yeah,
and
where have you been all my life?
Gross. I'm like, she still has dandruff,
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, she still ate a sandwich with Lucky Charms. I'm just saying.
Her, olive loaf is still stuck to the statue.
Yeah, so none of that went away.
She just ate Captain Crunch and bread for lunch. You can't take that out of the person. So
yeah. What was Anthony Michael Hall's character name in that movie?
Oh, let's see. Well, it was his dad was Mr. I know his dad was Mr.
Johnson. Okay. Well, that's who I married. So.
Let's see here. What was
when Daryl was a kid? That's exactly what he looked like. He looked just like Russ from Vacation.
Who did your brother marry? Mr. Rogers? No, Mr.
Mrs.
Johnson. Brian.
Yes, I married Brian Johnson. Although I fucked many benders, which is what I wanted.
I was more into the Emilio Estevez character.
God, never. I mean, what's funny? I was thinking about it when I was... What?
Slapping. He's like, what did you do to get in here? We taped so-and-so's butt cheeks together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what, though? That's so cruel.
It was
That's
very
really
cruel.
Messed up. Especially when he gave the details about when they took the tape off and everything.
Brian, it was his friend. He goes, you're the one that did that to him? I mean, it's like so sad. It was just the whole thing. God, talk about a deep dive. What are we doing?
I don't know.
It's fine. I haven't talked to you in a week. All right. Well, we should do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
Brian and I were talking about music or something, and we must have been talking about a particular song of this band. Mm-hmm. But so we were talking about the song, and I said, I don't know who sings that though. And so sometimes Ryan, he mumbles or he doesn't like say things out loud to where people can actually hear him speaking.
A 13-year-old is mumbling. Oh my God, there's a spider. Holy shit.
I can't, Ryan, I'm like, I'm old, I'm deaf, you're mumbling, like this isn't going to work. And so he's just like, oh, he says it's he's always Owl City, and I'm like who? And he says it's Owl City.
Oh my God.
Are you listening?
Hello? Oh my God. Oh, hold on.
There you are. Oh, there you are.
Oh my God. I was listening the whole time, except there was a spider and I had to kill it and it tried to jump. I had to kill it with my vagina book. Oh, Daryl's here.
I heard screaming.
It's right there by the lamp.
It's dead. It's
dead.
Oh,
thank God. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
God.
Sorry. Daryl heard me screaming. It's okay. No, I heard Ryan was mumbling, a 13-year-old mumbling. I go, what? A 13-year-old is mumbling? That's insane.
Anyways, we were just like, well, look up and who sings the song. And he's like, and he's just like, it's Owl City. I'm like, who? And he's like, Owl City.
What's an Owl City?
That's the name of the band.
Oh.
But because I was like, who?
Oh.
So we had a very good laugh about that.
That's hilarious.
It was funny. It was
That
very
is
funny.
It is.
I mean, it was not, ha ha ha, but it was just like, I felt stupid because I'm like, who?
It's punny. It's like it's in your blood. You can't help yourself.
It was.
Okay, so mine is the last weekend, Daryl and I went to the Vacaville outlet area.
Oh.
Because there is a couple of high-end furniture stores that have outlets there. And sometimes you can get a really good deal on a piece of furniture that is slashed to like 80% off. And so we're looking for a desk for me for the bedroom because I need an area for when we do our podcasting. And so we were just kind of, it was more like we just wanted to see what was the what. Now, it was supposed to be like 76 degrees. Super beautiful day. But we are going to Vacaville. It's very windy in Vacaville.
Right.
And I get cold when it's 70.
Okay, Mom.
I know. I've been this way my whole life. I'm freezing all the time. So I had a sweater on. And he's like, you think you're going to need the sweater? Because it was so beautiful when we left. I said, I know me. All the stores are going to be cold because they're going to kick on the air conditioners because, you know, it's 77 outside. And so it'll be like 60 in there and I'll be freezing. And so we get there. We went through to a couple of stores with no avail. We were going to one more store and we were on our way in. And he goes, we were in the car and he goes, yeah, you're right. It is kind of cold here. And so we're sitting in the car. And I put my arms in front of me like I'm a zombie or like Frankenstein. And I just go like that. And I look at him and he goes, what are you doing with your arms? And I'm all, sleeves. I'm wearing a sweater. He goes, that is not the universal symbol for sleeves. That's Frankenstein or zombies. I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'm just showing you how correct I am that I'm wearing a sweater. And he's like, I will never get what you do or why you do it. I'm like, I don't know. So for the rest of the day, remember when Dad caught me walking around acting like I was disabled because I didn't have a neck?
Yes.
Do you remember that? It was basically like that.
Did he tease you for the rest of the day?
He did. He did. Every time he'd turn around and he'd do the universal symbol apparently for sleeves is to put your hands in front of you like this.
I'm like, you know what? Knock it off. I could do without, you know?
For the rest of the day. And then he said something, he goes, is this the time that we should be showing everybody our sleeves? I'm like, fuck you. All right, that's it.
No,
that's enough.
now's the time I'm going to show you my middle finger.
Right. It was weird because it was so organically awkward.
Yes.
Because I don't understand why we do or say what we do. I just did it as if he should understand what that meant. And his reaction was so weird. He's like, what are you doing? What is that? Why are you showing me your hands? What is something wrong? And I'm like, he goes, are you wet? I'm like, what? No, sleeves. And he's like, you are insane.
Or as Victor calls it, he speaks Polynesian.
Exactly. Oh my God. Daryl speaks Japanese.
Japanese.
The same derivative.
It takes a while to learn the language, but eventually you get it.
And Daryl is in Uganana. He's in Uganon.
He's the only member. He's the founder and he's a member.
He goes, I'm the founder and a member.
Jeez.
So true. Anyway, that's it.
I think that's it for today. I hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend. Please visit uglytruth.com, click on the Amazon button, and do some shopping. Also visit lipandclip.com and get yourself some makeup, skincare, jewelry. Be sure to check out the outlet store. They always have good deals on products that they are phasing out. It's just a good time to pick up maybe some good lipsticks and things like that. Have a fabulous rest of your weekend, and we will see you next Wednesday. Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.